Welcome to the Wild Tribe Podcast. I'm your host, MARINA VALMONT, and beside me is Fernello.
I'm just a guy.
That is so not true. And our very special guest today is Ariel Demure. How are you?
I'm tremendous. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for being here.
You know,
I'm so glad to be.
I love her here. I was looking at her outside, and I was like, who's this goddamn hot girl? I hope she's here for me.
And she was, but you were at the wrong room initially.
I sure was. I'm dyslexic.
Oh, okay. That makes
I
sense
saw
now.
an even number, and I was like, that's fine.
But I was telling Marina, I'm like, her face looks like Photoshop. Like, it looks like a Snapchat filter. I'm like, are those real freckles?
You are stunning.
They're like placed perfectly like a Snapchat filter.
Thanks. It's sun damage.
Sign me up for sun damage. So what brings you into Miami?
A few things. XBiz Miami, obviously.
Yeah.
My agent is based out here, and it's his birthday today. My
Happy
niece-
birthday, agent.
Yes, Howard from Fab Scout. Thank you for having me. And my niece has not a birthday. She's graduating school. It's like a amalgam of different things I'm here for. It just happened to coincide.
I like that vocabulary word.
I have a few.
Teach me some.
So,
Thank you.
Take notes, baby.
All right, I will.
question of the day.
Yeah.
How did you get into the business?
I stripped the week after I turned 18. I started stripping. I was dating the DJ at the time at the club, and it just sort of happened. There were a couple recruiters that would come into the club.
Smart place to recruit at.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to get actually good people to do porn, sex workers, who'd have thunk?
Well, the strip club is the breeding ground of
Hose.
turmoil.
I used to dance too.
It can be. Did you? Where did you dance?
In New York and Vegas.
Ooh, fun places.
Wait, how long were you
That's
dancing?
wonderful.
How long were you dancing for?
Ooh, I think almost 8 years.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Nice.
a long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yes.
I danced on and off for 5 years, and I changed clubs 3 times.
Well,
That's all. I worked at
Okay,
3 different
on
clubs.
and off, meaning I got into a relationship. I got a boyfriend, can't dance anymore.
No, I'm an adult. I stopped dancing because I wanted to get an education. My grandma always stressed. So I'm also third generation. My mother and my grandmother both worked in strip clubs.
Ooh.
My
Wow.
grandma was very adamant. She was like a big, like a maternal figure to me my whole life. She was very adamant that I get an education and like pursue something of substance because she grew up her whole life being pretty, got sick
Yeah.
one day, couldn't be pretty no
You
more.
know what I always say, one
As it
minute you look
happens.
like a star, next minute you look like a bag of raisins.
Always gotta
Get
have
that
a backup
education.
plan.
You have to have a backup plan. Well, porn is and sex work in general is the perfect way to build your success for the future if you choose that for your journey.
So
but-
what did you take in school?
Oh, I just became a makeup artist. I was always an artist. My family had always hoped that I'd go to art school. That was what they thought I was going to do. It didn't fill up my tank. It was something I liked doing. It was something I was good at. It wasn't what I wanted to do for money. It took the fun out of it.
Right.
And that's why I love sex work, because it's something that I've always came back to. Even when I stopped with the stripping for a little chunk of time, I would just be so bored.
What were your favorite types of customers at the club?
Ooh, okay, so I don't know about you, but I'm from South Florida, and strip clubs out here, sometimes illegal activity happens. And the
VIP?
rooms, the VIP, the champagne room.
There's no
If
sex
you're in a
in the
nice-
champagne room.
Lies
No
and
sex in the
deception.
champagne room.
Lies and deception. I wouldn't do like the full Megillah, but I would do, stuff here and there. And that's the only way you would make money in those
little
clubs.
tug
You can't do
rub.
fucking
Really?
a friction dance? Not in the clubs that I worked in, unfortunately. So, what was the question? Oh, my favorite kind of customer? Oh, I'm a chatter.
Okay.
you like talkers?
I talk. So I would have my regulars and I would just sit and say, oh, okay, Todd's here. Talk for like 30 minutes. Okay, Bill's here. And then
Right.
after they got their libations and they were comfortable, I would do boom, 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 boom. Get all my dances in and go home.
Nice.
Just get them ready, get them loosened up. I had my rhythm. I liked people because my trick was, because only looked like this for a couple years. 10-something years ago when I started, it's 12 years now. When I started in sex work, I looked very different, but I always had like I was pretty-ish.
Can we talk about your transition and
Absolutely,
what that was like?
Please do.
So-
Yeah,
so
mine's
this-
a little different, but yeah,
This is
absolutely.
when you were dancing,
Uh-huh.
was it already a transitional period, or was it like?
When I first started, I worked at a gay strip club, a very unique, a very
got it.
well. The two other clubs were trans. Some of the only trans strip clubs in the country.
Oh, I didn't
There
know
are
that-
some. They're
Listen,
just very.
I'm
hidden.
new to
You
this.
have to know some.
I didn't know there was such thing as a trans strip club.
I've heard of
Not many.
trans nights, but not a
I
full
didn't
out
know.
club. I love that.
There's one in Florida.
Well, Florida has everything. Florida is
Yeah.
the abyss of sin.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Den of iniquity, as I call my
Yes.
apartment. But I did work in a gay strip club first, then trans strip clubs. What was the question?
Tell us about your transition and what that was like.
Okay. Well,
Like, how did you know?
So, I'm not a huge fan of this current cesspool that we're in at the at this juncture. I did leave.
Cesspool?
That's I don't write it down.
Oh, yeah. Writing it down.
I don't love Florida for a lot of reasons. The
Oh.
current political climate is a really good
okay.
indicator of why.
Right.
But I left because I did not feel I was really growing anymore. I was actually teaching makeup artistry as a career for 2 years when I left. I was just talking about all this cool shit that makeup artists do, and I wasn't doing it. I was just teaching it, and it was really embarrassing. So I'm like, fuck this place. I want to
Right.
go to the epicenter, Los Angeles. So I moved to Los Angeles for makeup, ended up in porn. But my transition started when I was 19. I began HRT. My mom used to do my estrogen shot for me. But back then, you could buy hormones online.
What?
Oh, and where were they from?
InHousePharmacy.com. It doesn't sell hormones anymore.
But they were
I
American
don't know if
company?
they even exist anymore. I have no
Or
idea. I was 19. I didn't even know my own last name. But I did buy my hormones on there, was overdosing mad crazy on hormones. I was taking
How could you
way
tell?
too much. I developed a cyst on my thyroid the size of a golf ball
Jesus
overnight.
Christ.
Oh.
I don't know if it was overnight. I just wasn't paying attention to my body, as I typically don't sometimes. But I woke up one day in a client's house, and I looked at my throat, and I was like, do you see that? And he was like, yeah, that don't look good. So I went to the hospital. I went to urgent care, and they did an x-ray, and it was just a buildup of fluid on my thyroid, a cyst.
Wow.
And I was like, this is probably my hormones. And that's because back in the day, it wasn't regulated. We were just, it was the Wild West, and we could do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And we didn't have, well, we did have doctors. We did have doctors, obviously.
Right.
I was doing it the wrong way. Wrong way.
You didn't know the proper quantity.
but-
I didn't know the correct
but there
quantities. I
needs
was
to
just
be-
listening to hearsay nonsense.
There needs to be a balance of the estrogen and
the testosterone. Yeah, no.
So
well,
you
I
were
was
going way
You take
over.
too much of any. You take too much vitamin C, you're gonna fuck up your bladder probably or something. You
Kidneys.
do too much of anything is bad. But I was overdosing hardcore, not good. I wasn't being regulated by any professional.
Oh.
Wow.
And so I stopped. I had like kind of a spiritual awakening. I was focusing on my school, on a lot of religion, I was studying Buddhism. I was studying Christianity. I was looking into Judaism. I was looking into different like schools of thought as to like what your soul is. And I was just trying to figure out like, what is this?
Right.
What is this skin sleeve I'm inhabiting? What is a soul? What is my future? What is greater than me? And then eventually I was really focused on my career. And you know what? I'm here for a purpose. I don't really know what it is right now, but you are an artist, so pursue that. Do what stimulates you creatively.
And how do you feel? Like, what was the feeling inside of you when you said, you know, I'm going to pursue in the industry, in the adult entertainment industry?
Well, that came much later. I moved to Los Angeles for makeup, and then when I realized, okay, I'm comfortable with this male. I had like facial hair and, you know, no anything. Just a lot of no's. And then it used to be much bigger.
Your nose is so perfect.
Yeah, like I said, you look like
Jacob Steiger in Boca
Snapchat
Raton,
filter.
Florida. But yeah, I realized, you know what? You're comfortable in this body you were given.
Yeah.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But this is where I differ from some people in the trans community. Everyone is on their own journey and having their own experience, and God bless them for that and that
everyone's unique
journey that they're on. I personally was fine with, the body. It was fine. But when I would look in the mirror since the 4th grade, since I was little, I remember the first time was in the 4th grade. I looked in the mirror. Not the first time that I put on a dress. That was 2. My grandma told my father when I was 2 years old, that one's gay.
So sorry.
Wow. Oh, that might be me.
Is that you?
It might be. I just turned my ringer off. It's in my fanny pack. Oh, no. Thank you.
Oh, it's Raul.
Oh, thank
Raul?
God it's not me. Yes!
Answer it. Yeah, we'll just cut this part.
Okay.
Hey, we're filming right now. We're doing stuff. Where are you?
Outside.
Okay, so just get valet and then meet me in.
Already parked.
Okay, so just meet me at 518.
5.
Room 518.
518.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Let's go up.
All right. Okay, bye.
You want me to give you some time?
We're about 15
Skin
minutes of
So
recording.
15.
Maybe tell him come up in 20 minutes.
Just come up in 20 minutes.
All right, cool.
That'll
Alright.
do it.
All right, cool. Sorry about that.
Sorry
All
about
good.
that.
All good.
Should have turned that silent. All right.
Well, I didn't do it, so
You're all good. You're all
I
good.
assume no one's gonna.
You're all
call me.
good.
Don't worry.
We'll
Alright.
edit that out.
We'll
Blooper
edit it.
reel.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
I was sort of complacent with my own body. It wasn't an issue. I was just kind of
Oh, you were
accepting it.
saying in the
But
fourth grade.
I looked in the mirror and I was like, that's so weird that that's the face I'm always going to have.
Right.
I had this out of body experience and I wasn't questioning my gender. I was just, that's not what I look like in my mind. I didn't know what I looked like in my mind, but I knew there was a disconnect. And I got older and I decided to get my nose done because I am my father's child.
What's your background?
I'm Colombian Cuban, and then
Oh,
some in there.
wow.
But I don't speak Spanish, so I'm a bad
Right,
Hispanic.
right.
But you can't tell my father what to do. You can't tell my mother what to do. And you can't really tell me what to do. So if you tell me you need to do your nose because it's big,
Right.
I'm gonna say shut up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
That's
has
your
to be
opinion. I don't
your
care.
idea.
It took me a long time to get boobs. It took me a long time to get a nose. It took me a long time to do anything because I had to do it on my terms for my reasoning.
Right.
And I realized in my core, a cute little nose would be fun.
Yeah.
And I did it. And
I
a
love
lot
the
of
little.
people have a lot of trepidation leading up to surgery. Zero. I was gung ho. I'd never
You're
been
excited.
under anesthesia.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be fucking dope. And I did it. It was amazing. Then I did my cheek implants, and then I did some filler, and then I did some Botox, and then I was like, dude, you're gonna wake up one day and be an old man. That's gonna be fucked up. You should really think about the future. Who are you? And it was at that juncture I realized I am a trans woman. I had identified as non-binary for a long time because the trans women in Florida that I grew up with were very dead set on this concept of heteronormative relationship dynamics and stealth. Stealth is when you go out into public and no one can tell you're trans. That's a privilege afforded to some very fortunate people. It is not the norm and it shouldn't be the standard.
It shouldn't matter.
Well, I agree. It shouldn't matter if you're so passable, no one can tell. Who fucking cares? I live my trans journey for me, not other people's perception of me. And for a lot of trans women, speaking on behalf of others, which is always dangerous to do, but for a lot of others, it is a part of their gender journey that they be acknowledged as nothing but a woman. You refer to me as she, her. For me, if someone comes out of pocket and says something nasty, like calls me by a male pronoun, that's not going to bother me because I transitioned for me.
Hey,
It's
I have
your
a
journey.
question.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, for the squares
Don't
out
call
there.
me he, but still.
Well, so you're fully transitioned.
No, I did. Okay, so that's a.
Because that's a
concept.
question like
No, that's a question that
for
does come
ignorant
up.
people like me that exist. We don't know the difference between what's the difference between a transitioned woman or a trans.
So transness as a
Okay.
whole isn't a destination; it's a journey.
Okay.
So for some women,
Right.
getting bottom surgery, getting a
Okay,
vagina
so
will
that's
be
like-
that I am transitioned. In
Right.
my mind, transition doesn't stop. Because I transitioned from one end of a spectrum to another, or one destination in a spectrum to another, I will always be in some semblance of a transition, just as you transitioned from youth to maturity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just it's all words.
So it's just
Who
words.
fucking cares? Words give a lot of validity and a lot of substance to some people. For me, words are superfluous. They are not necessity in order to my happiness. At the end of the day, if you try to use words against me, that is you using something against me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not against you. I might disagree with your opinions. I might disagree with the way that you're trying to lobby how my body is moderated, but I'm not going to sit here and fight you and get angry. I'll fight, but I won't get angry about it as much as someone really trying to attack.
How do you
come at
feel
me
about
in
the
a wrong
political
way.
climate in
It's
Florida
scary.
right now?
It's scary. They just made it into law where, oh God, I shouldn't have even said this. They made it into law where if parents give gender affirming care to their kids under the age of 18, that they could be really heavily penalized for that. And for me,
What?
I think that it's scary as a thought
That's
to
terrifying.
just completely not allow people who are 16, 17. The age of consent, I think, in Florida is 16, and you're not even allowed to decide
What to do with your body. That's
Yeah,
your body.
So I
If
can
that's-
just start putting my genitals wherever I want, but I'm not allowed to know what's going on
Did you hear?
in my heart.
Did you also hear about the immigration law now? Like if
You cannot buy property if you are not is it a Florida citizen?
I didn't hear about this.
So
This just
there's
happened.
another law too where if you're caught driving,
Oh,
with
that
an
one.
That
If
had me
you're going to
fucked up.
work with your friend
Yeah.
who also works at the same establishment and that person happens to be undocumented, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But what if you don't even know?
You don't know. Well, ignorance of the law isn't an excuse.
Wow.
That's terrible.
It's scary. But
It's turning people against each other. Where's the humanity?
that's the problem is that there is a lot.
Hey, you heard that? Sorry, I can't give you any more rides.
Yeah. I heard that you don't have papers, and unless you supply them, you are not getting a ride to Burger King.
Wow. So
No
what about all
more
the Lyft
rides.
drivers and Uber drivers?
They're fucked
God
too.
bless them.
Yeah, don't pick up no illegal immigrants. Or else.
Or don't be one.
Or else you're
It's
going
just
to
there's
jail.
no win. There's no win. It's just so crazy.
Well,
It's tough though. Every circumstance is unique.
well, that is a very unique journey. And congratulations to you to getting this far.
Thank you.
You know, I got to give you a round of applause for that
I'm very curious about your dating life.
All right, I just had to do that. So let's get into some kink talk. Let's get into
dope.
some spicy talk.
Yes.
The stuff we all want to know.
True that.
Tell us about your dating life.
She's like, I plead the fifth.
No, I don't do that. I just am not a huge fan of labels. So
Wait, what?
I
Like situationships?
I identify as pansexual because I fuck with a person, not their gender. I like to get to know you if I'm going to carry on a dynamic with you. And something I've learned about myself, it's very hard for me to become emotionally invested in someone and sexually invested in them at the same time.
Interesting.
I compartmentalize to such a degree that it's kind of become a problem, and I'm reflecting on that as a person. But once I get to know someone really, really good, I kind of just want you to be like a really good friend to me.
God.
I don't want to fuck you.
You want to
anymore.
friend zone people for being good. That's lame.
No, my friends aren't good people.
Why are they your friends?
Just kidding. No, we're all great. No, I don't know what it is. It's a thing. But
So are you okay?
I feel so. Liza Minnelli said this. I'm not going to be able to quote it directly, but I want 3 men in my life. I want a man who's a few years older than me, who makes me feel, who stimulates my mind,
Yes.
who like talks to me and we combat and we chat and it's just, we talk about the arts and philosophy and spirituality. I want a man who's my age, maybe a few years younger, who knows? And he makes me feel like a girl.
Okay.
He wines and dines me, and I feel like, he sweeps me off my feet every time I see him.
I'm liking
and then
this.
I want another guy whose last name I'm not 100% clear on, and then I'll be happy.
Oh, okay.
You could never make a woman happy, by the way. Anyway, it's true.
I'm pretty happy.
It's true. And
I
look,
think contentment is a state of mind. It's not a destination.
It is.
There's no perfect person.
No, there isn't. I don't think that the concept that one person is going to fulfill you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and then you're so presumptuous as to assume that you are going to be the exact same for them. It's very presumptuous. It's a lot.
Yeah. That's why I need.
It's unrealistic.
That's why.
It's lucky. It's fortune.
Well, you know what? Fortunately for me, that's why I need about 6 or 7 of you guys. So come on down to the Fernello train. And I'll be your conductor.
Right? Are you in the lifestyle?
Speaking. I've in some context I fucked a lot of open marriages.
Wait, hold on. So
The refrigerator?
no,
I heard it too.
no. So you said you're into the lifestyle as well.
She said I was into the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I've been with a lot of couples.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm currently on 3 Fun, which is an app where for couples to find a third.
Oh, to find their unicorn.
What?
Yeah.
Is there an app for that?
I need to get on this app.
Please don't
need the
message me
detail.
on it if you don't
God.
fit my description of what I'm looking for.
Absolutely.
What are you looking for?
A fat ass.
Wait.
That's the only thing I care
Wait,
about.
hold on.
It's the
Had a
only
question.
thing I care about.
Okay. So, what type of sex are you into?
I fully am, because in reference to your question 20 minutes ago,
Right.
I have not had bottom surgery. That's not a part of my journey at this juncture
Right.
in my life. At this point, because everyone's allowed to change their opinion, I do not have any desire to do anything with my downstairs because I don't have dysphoria with this.
Okay.
I realized I did have dysphoria with my body, and that's why I was trying to fix it with surgery when it was much more than that. But I personally very much enjoy using my front, which is why
Okay.
I
Yes.
predominantly do lesbian porn, because for
Oh.
the trans porn that I do with men, most of the time I'm bottoming. I'm not able to top because of logistical factors that have to deal with budget and who is available.
Okay.
Wait, explain to the ignorant me
Sure.
what that means.
So if a man of any way, if you're a man and you're bottoming in a scene, you're probably going to have to be paid more.
Yes.
Typically,
So taking
because you
makes
have to
sense.
prepare.
So-
if
so-
you're doing an anal scene, you're
there
probably
we
going to
go.
get a little bit more money.
Yeah, it's a full 24 hours of preparation.
So
Yes, it is for me too. Yeah, it's not fun.
So what do you like more? What is your favorite
No,
thing?
I like both. For my personal life, I like both. I like being able to do both. I like giving and I like receiving. Personally,
Really?
Well, there's so many nerve endings. You know, when you start off in the womb, we all have female organs, and then your ovaries fall out, as Tiffany Haddish said. Your balls fall out and they become, or your ovaries fall out and they become testicles. Yeah.
Yep.
We all have the same parts. They just move zip codes.
I think you still have your testicles.
That could be possible.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
I never thought
maybe
about
it
that.
is.
No way.
But that
Be inside me.
yeah, but that could be possible.
Yeah.
That, you know what's a funny statistic? I want to say it's 1-point-something% of people on the planet are born some semblance of intersex. So do not fall along the...
Is the term hermaphrodite?
That's where it comes from. So hermaphrodite comes from Hermes and Aphrodite. It's like a kind of circus freak show word. So now we say intersex.
Intersex. Thank you.
All good. But about a little over 1%, if I'm not mistaken, possibly 2 are intersex. And then about 2% of the world, if I'm not mistaken, are trans. Do you know what percentage of the world has red hair?
Like 1%?
Around a very similar percentage. If you think about it, you could probably fit, or the whole continent of Ireland would not fit all of... Is it a continent or is it? It's not a continent. It's an island.
An island.
It's an island.
It's not. A continent would be like Africa or something.
Believe it or not, I did not do well in geography.
You see why you still need a man around.
And that's why I do porn.
Yeah.
But anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about like what do you prefer?
I like to fuck and I like to get fucked.
You like to fuck and you like to get
Yup.
fucked. Financially?
Not
No.
ideal.
No one likes to get fucked over financially.
Yeah, because that's what I'm
If
getting.
you do, then you... Oh, pay pigs. We like
Pig.
those.
Yes, we do.
like
Pay pigs.
Hit me up, baby, if you want.
You better
Get your
pay
bank
for
account
this,
ready.
pig.
Yes, please.
What was your favorite pay pig experience?
Ooh.
Believe actually, I'm too nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was always so awkward. I would try, and I'm like, ew, you want me to be mean.
Right.
I have to access a part of my brain I'm not fond of, because
Yeah.
I was a mean-ass child.
Right.
All good.
Who was that? Immigration?
Fansly people.
Oh, great.
Aww.
Just that little interruption.
I was a really mean child. I was really, really mean.
Like a bully?
Not to other people, just my family. I was mean, and that was something I had to grow out of, and I don't like going back there. So the whole doming thing, I'm a fan of, because it's like recapturing this part of my body that I am not a fan of. But the whole like degradation thing,
Right.
I struggle with. It's not
It's
one of my favorites.
hard to be mean to someone like that.
If I drink, I can do it because I get surly sometimes.
Right.
But no, I don't really do the whole like nasty, mean, like calling people names. I'm not a fan of that typically. I mean, I do it, but it's not my favorite.
Well, you know
Lesbian
what?
porn's my favorite.
Yes, me too.
I gotta do my research on you and see what's going on there.
Here.
So that being said, where can everyone reach you? Like, what platforms are you on?
I'm working on my Pornhub. We just made my account.
Yeah.
My friend and I are getting my shit in order.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of computers either.
You have a team. You have a team to do that for you.
I have a couple friends who help me
Listen,
out, thank God.
welcome to the age of AI where everything will be taken care of by the
Oh,
computer.
yeah, don't worry. You're only going to be able to meet me in person at a certain point because they're all just going to copy my image and then put it on the internet.
So you're on
whatever.
Pornhub,
I'm on
Instagram.
OnlyFans, Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFriends, Twitter, Reddit. I got my Reddit name.
Oh,
Nice.
great.
So my account on all platforms is just Ariel Demure. That's it.
And tell us
No
more
numbers,
about
no
your
underscores.
OnlyFans.
My OnlyFans, I like genuine connection. So typically, if I'm shooting someone for OnlyFans, I am a fan of them in real life.
Oh, you know what? I like what you just said there because I'm the same way. Like, I mean, I don't really collab, but when I do, I have to build up that friendship relationship with them.
Right. Well, I mean, a friendship could be as simple as like, oh, you have a good
Rapport,
energy.
a rapport.
You know,
Right?
so I've met
Yeah.
people very briefly in passing,
Yeah.
and I'm very pretentious, very empathic,
Right.
and I'll just say like, "Ooh, I like your energy. I like what you're about. You
Yeah.
give me a good vibe. Would you like to collab?" And then typically I'll collab with those people.
Right.
Very seldom do I work with someone and they leave, and I'm like, "Holy shit, I'm glad that's over."
Right.
It's happened to all of us, but
Yeah.
no, my OnlyFans is very intimate. I make it a point to communicate really heavily with my fan base because they are the reason why I'm at where I'm at.
Right.
In my mind, I am very fortunate to be where I am.
Grateful.
And I'm very grateful to be where I am. I was the funny, ugly friend for many, many years. So having any semblance of like, oh, she's hot is very exciting for me. But I like people's requests to be fulfilled.
What's your most interesting request?
Oh, God. I just got into the giantess stuff.
Macrophilia.
Oh, my goodness.
What
it's so
the hell
fun.
is that?
It's so fun. You pretend that your telephone is a little man. And then you say, oh, you're so tiny. I could just squish you with my fat ass.
You're so insignificant.
You tiny, poor, unfortunate
soul.
It's so fun. You're just big.
That doesn't
and they're
sound
little.
like fun. That
and you
sounds like
just shove them up your nose and
put them in your mouth. You can put them other orifices.
God.
You can.
This
Depending
conversation
on
has
the camera.
took a turn to the worst.
No, the best.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Haram. Anyway.
Harambe?
So, well, you are an exciting piece of woman. I can't wait to see
Piece of work.
piece of work. You are an art piece of work.
Piece of art.
Yes.
Aw.
I love it. So
I aspire to be like a cool lampshade one day.
hey, you never know. You can make it happen. So that being said, we got to wrap things up, but we'll see you next time on the same place, same happy channel. Welcome to the Wild Tribe Culture.
For the Wild Tribe Podcast, I'm MARINA VALMONT.
And I'm Fernello.
And I'm Ariel Demure.
See you later.